What's up, everybody? This is Jose.
And Katie.
And we're just driving through the randomly backwoods of North Carolina. Middle of absolutely nowhere. Kind of country, rural. Like the type of stuff you just don't see a lot of because it's hard to even label it. But we're out here, middle of nowhere. To give you an idea, a general idea, we're kind of north of Florence, South Carolina, but in North Carolina. So we're right by the border, south of Fayetteville. The biggest town to us here is called Wagram, Lumber River State Park. Middle of nowhere. This area has a large Native American population. So this is what it's like to drive through the middle of absolutely nowhere in North Carolina. And it is starting to sprinkle a little bit of rain every once in a while. It's not quite rainy, but it's kind of just rural places, just really the middle of nowhere in North Carolina. Absolutely country, kind of backwoods looking type of place. Just kind of really, really backwoods. Starting to rain. Got a little fire going on there in the woods behind the tree line. North Carolina. Backwoods.
It smells cute.
Winterwood. There's some chicken plants up ahead. Look at all that litter. Wow. Just mobile homes. And this is kind of like where we're living in Alabama.
Yeah.
Very backwoods looking type of place. Lots of mobile homes. Down the road. Lots of mobile homes. Up ahead, the road takes like a left turn. The road comes to an end, and you'll take a left.
Okay, cool.
We're on Modest Road. It's a very modest road. You got cars coming up behind you?
Yeah.
And, you know.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Modest Road.
See it up there?
Yeah.
Modest Road is what we're about to turn to. Look at all that litter.
And I'm going left? Okay.
Turn left onto Modest Road.
Are there any newer hotels in Fayetteville? Oh, that's like all beat up.
I said no.
No?
But there are some nice hotels though.
Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Look at all the old Lincolns and stuff, eh? It's like so backwoods out here. It's like, wow.
In
It's
a
like
quarter mile,
they buy it,
continue
then they
onto
keep it
Old Wire Road.
forever.
You're gonna have to try to go as fast as you can. Because you know how people like to ride these country roads.
This looks like the area just north of us.
Yeah, like Deatsville?
Yeah.
Exactly. This looks like
Deatsville slap out area.
Polk County. Yeah, this is like that. It's like really backwards.
Yeah.
Continue on Old Wire Road for 15 miles.
Old Wire Road. That's a good title right there. Old Wire Road. Millprong Preservation Incorporated. 15 miles of this stuff. If you get a chance, hit the windshield wipers. There's a lot of potholes on the outside, so just be real careful not to hit the outside because you'll literally flip off the road.
Yeah.
These tow mirrors don't help. Lots of potholes. Gum Swamp. The Gum stop sign.
Yeah.
Look at all that litter. Leave it up to people in the rural countryside to
Over
litter.
there.
There's nothing but...
Old Yeller over there.
Oh, what?
Old Yeller. It looks like the old Yeller dog.
Look at all that litter, man. Leave it to people in the south to litter.
Yeah. Weird pressure, I guess.
People always talk about how the hoods we go to are dangerous. To me, there's nothing more dangerous than places like this. To me, like really, 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 like forget about the hoods and inner city. Places like this are really dangerous because you just don't know what you can run into out in these places. You can run somebody pretending like they need a fake flat tire. You just don't know what you're gonna run into. Like, and out here, like somebody might see you, like that car behind you.
Yeah.
They might notice you got floor tags. He might call somebody down the road, and be like, "Hey, there's some stupid tourists in a white truck," And 5 or 6 miles down the road, you get intercepted. You just don't know what. I've always said, like, much more dangerous in cities. Or backwoods. There you go. Or backwoods places like this. That's good. And you can drive however you need to. Yeah, people don't realize that places like this are actually seriously way more dangerous, more lawless, and more everything than like cities. Out here, they can do whatever they want. This is their hometown. This is their backwoods. They do whatever they want out here. You're just passing through. Nothing more than that. But people don't know that. 95% of America are places like this in the middle of nowhere. You think they don't have crime out here?
Oh, they do.
These people out here in these little places, they do whatever they want to. And ain't no police officer gonna come out there and tell people what are they doing in their barn. They do whatever they want to in their barn. Not like in the city where cops can pull you over and see what you're doing. You'd be surprised the type of things that happen in these like backwoods type of places like this. So you couldn't even imagine. I mean, I only knew it living 1 year in Alabama briefly. So imagine a lifetime in a place like this, the type of stuff you'll see in a lifetime out here. You just never know what you will never know. One just never know. Stuff do for you. Hey, you're sneezing. Don't be sneezing on me. These folks out here don't like when you sneeze around their property. They'll sneeze back at you. You go through a little town called Antioch. You should go right through that. And there's the Bridges Grove African Methodist Church up ahead. There's a large Native American population in this area. Some cities are 56% African American. Not African, Native American, I'm sorry. We were dumb enough to think you could actually move to a place like this. Nope. If you're an outsider, you can't move to places like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you might luck out and find a place where people aren't into, like when you move to a place like this, all these people are gonna know. They're gonna want to know who moved into that house, and they're gonna know for 30 years back every family that's lived in that house. There's a curb here. Every family that's lived in that house, they've known them. They've known where they're from, who they're related to, who their bigwigs are, everything. And if you're from the city, a bigwig is like an OG. It's somebody who kind of runs crap. You move to a hot place like that, even if it's like a little house by itself, whatever, you might not, it might be new to you, but it's not new to them. They've known every person that's lived in that house. They've known all their domestic disputes. Small town people gossip. When I see a house out here in the middle of nowhere, but it's just a quiet place, nobody around. Yeah. These neighbors out here, they've known every family that's lived there, why they left, where they worked, what their reputation was, what they did, and they just keep tabs on stuff like
There's
that.
one detail, like we were talking about the neighbor about our bathtub, and like the neighbor's like, oh, they wouldn't build that wrong.
people, they might go back to how long ago the house was built, who built it, who owned the land before they built it, all that stuff. So you come from out of town,
Yeah.
you land in a little rural place like this, you just don't know what you're getting into. You really don't. And that one's all burnt down and stuff. That's not. You just don't know what you're getting. And there's places like this all over America, from Wisconsin to Michigan. Every single state's got places like this. Just middle of nowhere country places.
I used to live in a place like kind of like this.
Yeah, but it's a little bit more affluent where you were, like, you know.
It was
and
where
stuff.
people had their like lake homes.
Houses and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's far out in the middle of nowhere, but it's still an affluent area, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna fly right through this town. It's called Antioch.
Yeah.
Stay on Old Wire Road. Slow down. Antioch.
I know it. I knew
Antioch right
it.
here. There's just a big old house back there in the woods. A church over here. And they're building something over here. New building going in over here. Yeah. Nobody behind this black truck.
No,
Go,
behind the
go,
black
go,
truck?
somewhere.
Yeah.
These sharp turns
They
are
got
tough,
it
man.
too.
We're on Wire Road. Old Wire Road. In 8 miles, you're turning on Arabia Road. In the meantime, I'm trying to lock down some hotels. You say you saved one?
No, I didn't save any. I said pick one.
Oh, so you don't even have a hotel saved in Fayetteville?
No, I saw some and
All this excitement about Fayetteville. You haven't saved a hotel here yet?
no. I said you were gonna pick. You said you were gonna pick it when we talked. I looked at
All
it.
this excitement about Fayetteville. You haven't picked out a hotel yet. Honestly, everything I see here is trash. I mean, at least put the top rated thing. Might just have to go by whatever the most expensive one is. Courtyard by Marriott. That's a lot of reviews. You know, Fort Bragg's here, you think? You would think, see what price. It's gonna have to be one of the more expensive ones for sure. Courtyard by Marriott.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, pretty, man.
It's a house. I
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
man. The natural beauty of the countryside's unmatched.
Yeah.
It's just like the rules you gotta live by out here. Any winter obligations. Thank you. There's literally practically no new hotels in the whole area. So I don't know what we're. There's like old buildings and farms and stuff. Just, I love the old houses and old buildings. Nothing like exploring rural America. It's nice to explore cities and stuff, but you get to like rural America, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about quality of life in these places, but for sure, beyond that, just the exploration aspect of it is a cool place to explore. Just old farms and old barns, lots of open, cleared land. But I have found if you are moving to a place like this, that the best types of people are farmers. There's like different types of people in these places.
Oh wow.
There's mobile homes. Yeah, that's old, man. That's cool.
It's beautiful.
There's mobile homes. There's farmers. There's big new houses. Like, you know, there's different types of stuff out here. But in my experience, 1 year I lived in the rural parts. Farmers are the best neighbors to have. They really are helpful, They're hardworking. There's hillbillies. Those are the ones you don't want to be nearby. Those are the ones with a lot of junk on their yard all over. You know what I mean? Like with the moonshine still. Those are the ones you don't want to be nearby. You don't want to be near hillbillies. But if you're between farmers, you're pretty good. Farmers are usually pretty good. If somebody has like a giant rich people house in the middle of a poor rural area, you probably don't want to have them next door either, because those are the type of people that are just too powerful. You're not really good by people like that, because they have a lot of power. You know, at least from my experience, you know. You would want like kind of like the ones that are kind of.
You'd want to
farmers
buy that house that is in between the farmers, right?
Yeah, like here, this is farmland. Those are the good ones. From my experience,
Yeah.
the farmers are the best ones to have as neighbors. From what I saw in Alabama, like when we worked for people, if they were farmers, they were pretty good. You know, like they were pretty much.
Yeah, because they work all day.
Yeah, they're hardworking people that work the land. Like they're good, and they understand the value of immigrants and stuff, because they have to hire people, and they're not as. Like, they understand the value of somebody, you know, of like immigrants, for example. You know. I know that they need a working hand who's gonna do it. They have a lot. They respect men by their working ability more than anything. Farmers are usually pretty good, from at least from my experience in Alabama. And when I was working in an area that was like this, that they were farmers, they were good. They pay good. They're respectful, considerate, just straight up good people, you know. But when they're hillbillies or like mobile home type rural people, that's a whole different ballgame. They're a little bit more complicated to deal with.
Definitely.
But the guy on the tractor, man, those are the ones that bring food to the table for everybody. You just keep going. And we're really exploring now, man. And the ones in the tractors, those are the people that feed America, you know? Those are the ones that bring food to the table. And you see these little areas like this, you might think these people are starving.
They're not.
My experience in Alabama, like these people here, they might look like they're starving out here. All these old buildings and stuff. Nobody's got new cars. You might think these people are starving, but these people got more money than you could dream of having.
A lot of times they are to drive it till it drops.
Yeah, that's why they got money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't have nothing to prove to nobody. They're not spending their money on shoes, clothes, cars. They got land that makes them money every year. A lot of times farmers deal with cash more than debit cards. You might drive through a place like this and you might think these people are starving or whatever. But you have no idea. Like you might just see these little rural places like this and whatever. And you got no idea how these people are really living like, you know? And again, you gotta go buy a cow, they got it already. You might have to go buy meat. They got it. They grow it. You understand? People live by values or morals and stuff. You got no idea. They're a different type of person, you know? Watch that day right there. So you got me driving towards Fayetteville, but I don't see a single hotel in this hotel I want to stay in. There's another town south of here that did have new hotels. We're almost to Fayetteville. We're getting to the outskirts.
Cool.
This road here will kind of eventually take you to that. Well, you'll be in the suburbs of Fayetteville soon. I'm looking for hotels, but I don't see anything. But it's all old stuff, bad ratings. I don't really see any new hotels. Best looking one is a Holiday Inn Suites. It's got 230 reviews.
That's the one I thought.
Continue on North Old Wire Road for 2 miles.
You get to the Dollar General. Take it left. Dollar General to the left.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep browsing. 2 miles ahead is Dollar General.
Okay.
This reminds me so much of where we're in Alabama.
I know, right?
I bet you it's sheep out here. I can smell a chicken farm though. You smell it?
Mm-hmm.
That is not cool.
No.
And you definitely don't want to be near chicken farms. Chicken farms are those sheds that they build out in the middle of the woods. So if you're from the city, you don't know what a chicken farm is. A chicken farm is like, when you see like sheds out in the middle of the woods that are brand new looking, and they're like long and skinny. Those are chicken farms. Like there's one here, I kid you not, almost a mile, 3/4 of a mile south of here, and we can smell it from here. So you definitely don't want to be near a chicken farm. This reminds me so much of where we're in Alabama. But I think the people in North Carolina are not as backwards. Anybody ever lived in Alabama and in North Carolina? They can't possibly be as backwards as people in Alabama, can they?
I don't know.
I like places like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a dude that likes to work, you know? I love living in places like this. I mean, the serenity of it. Especially here, you're right outside of a big city, you know? But I just don't know if this is like Montgomery Park too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to rent first, and
Yeah.
I would never buy out here. Like blindly, you know?
Yeah.
Look at that old house in the woods. It's so cool.
Well, the thing with Alabama, why we moved there, is we were just so desperate for a change.
Yeah, we just
We
needed.
were looking for our
It
price
didn't
range.
matter. It was just getting out of Florida.
And I think that was the best thing we could have done.
Yeah, we needed to. We needed to get out there. Like we would have never. Our lives were gonna amount to nothing if we didn't get out.
Yeah.
You know. Those cars behind you, they're gonna rush, but you'll be up there in 2 miles. Nice. What's crazy is that even downtown they don't have any. There's a Residence Inn by Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the nicest thing in town is a Residence Inn by Marriott.
Mm.
The Courtyard by Marriott. They don't have a lot of reviews though. There's a Town Place Suites by Marriott. I think you can drive faster. You got cars piling up behind you. Residence Inn by Marriott's are usually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that they don't really have anything fancier than that. Well, you really not too much fancy. You're gonna have to pass him.
Yeah.
Pass him. Don't get that close. Okay, those people behind you are about to grab a shotgun and blow it through your back windshield if you don't hurry out. I can't believe that downtown there's no like fancy hotels. Just a prison.
Which is
Nothing.
Yeah.
Downtown.
a
doesn't-
prison.
Downtown has a prison but doesn't have a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That should just give you an indication to the type of place this is.
Yeah.
I got my rights and lefts mixed up on this trip.
I have to like double check what I actually have to do.
I'm all backwards on this trip, yeah. Now we're on the outskirts of town right here. We're in the southern outskirts of Fayetteville, so there it is. It's a rural drive through the rural backwoods outside of Fayetteville. You make an immediate right up ahead. But the next I take a right.
Okay.
And I'll literally take you into Fayetteville.
Okay.
If you see a place that looks safe and decent, you can stop and we'll regroup ourselves. Just while you're driving, it's kind of hard to make a plan here. There's really no new hotels here.
Mm-hmm.
They're all kind of like older, 400 views. Kind of place where could, especially being a military town, even like a hotel like that will easily have bed bugs.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I can drive all the way to Wilmington to the left here. Right. See, I'm backwards today.
It's kind of irritating.
My lefts are lefts, but my rights are lefts. Very confusing. No signal. Right.
And my favorite is when he tells me left, I go left, and then he yells at me for going left.
You went left, dang it. Now we're on the outskirts of town. Wow, these are the outskirts? If this is the outskirts, what do you think the interstate is going to look like?
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Stonewall.
Stonewall. Yeah.
I can see why this was probably recommended to us. This is a highly recommended video that we're going to do on the next video. Oh boy.
There really aren't that many fancy hotels.
Yeah.
They're all like, there's nothing with less than 100 reviews. Being a military town, you know that type of people, it's just, they're already bunked up with 50 other people. Like, just like any hotel here, it's not bed bugs. It's like guaranteed. What is this Holiday Inn? It's at least, I think it's the newest one in town.
Continue on Camden Road for 2 miles.
Well, that's been easier the way we were already, but doesn't matter. It'd been easier the way we were earlier, but we're good. Alright guys, there it was. Rural Drive. We're now on the outskirts. I hope you guys liked it. You guys a good chance to see what rural middle of nowhere looks like.